today's job I am checking the output of a inference which has just finished. So the dimensions of this analysis: 6,000, nearly 7,000 species. These are Lepidoptera. 3,500 characters, comprising the COL1 gene and about 3,000 binary characters. Now these are soft constraints. You can see them here. This is matrix representation of topological groups in a whole load of source trees. So this took about 2 days to run on quite a fast laptop. Now this is just finished, and the output is quite interesting. This is the same tree, just plotted a bit different. On the right you have some higher taxon names. So I was particularly interested in this section of the tree, Herdenini, because this I could not have fixed constraints within this group. So this is all defined by the character, by the supermatrix, character patterns in the supermatrix. And on the left, no high taxon names. Now the interesting thing I want to point out here is you don't normally see this because you'd need to. These branch lengths are not appropriate for further use after this point, but they are interesting and informative in some ways. You can see these long branches, high support. These are where there's strong signal in the supermatrix, and since it's comprised of COL1 and the binary characters, now COL1 won't have very little information on these deep nodes. These are within a subfamily. So these are defined by the strong signal in the binary characters. Now these are from the soft constraints. So effectively you can see from a visual inspection where the source trees, where information from the source trees has been applied to the character matrix, in the matrix representation. But for this part of the tree, we'll have several nodes which are being defined from analysis of the source trees. So I thought this was pretty interesting to see. But the general outcome of this is this is not traditional bootstrap. This is bootstrap transfer expectation, which is more appropriate for very species rich trees. If you use traditional bootstrap, then it will always be it's just an inverse relationship. The more species you add, the lower it will become. So after a given point, if you have trees of hundreds of species, it's certainly more than 100 here, and it's not appropriate to use traditional bootstrap. It will always be very low. So you have this advanced newer measure, and you can see it's pretty high. Let's zoom in a bit more to this. And we've got some. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this at this point. So I've got some reasonable support on this, even though I could not apply fixed constraints. Seems there's sufficient signal in the COL1, the combination of the COL1 and the binary characters inferred from the source trees seems to be good signal to give a supported topology. So I was thinking I may need to add some multi-gene data for this, but maybe that's not too urgent. I think I can go ahead and use this. Need to figure out yet next what I want to do this. I could potentially add. So the data included in this is only species which can be fit into the extended backbone. Now I could potentially add more. I mean, it is quite a lot more, which Lepidopter, which can't, for whatever reason, they're not of the higher taxa, which can be inferred from the backbone. Now that class of data is a lot more difficult too. So I think I will have an attempt at adding a new class of CO1 data to this, and it could be as much as 30 or 40,000 extra CO1 species, which could be placed to this, but it's kind of very difficult to do that. So that I'll pick out a subset from that, from various criteria, and that all needs to be defined from soft constraints. But there's a couple of ways that can be done. But for now, this is a pretty good result for a phylogeny of over 6,000 species, and to have support values like that is pretty good. So job done.